What most people don't realize is once a person becomes a convicted felon, they lose their rights to vote, serve on a jury, hold political office, and we don't have a voice.
Florida is only one of 4 states in the country that does not allow individuals to earn their eligibility to vote again who have been convicted of a felony.
We don't have any standards or regulations or rules. Rick Scott has been quoted saying, we don't have anything. I can do what I want.
And there's something wrong with that picture, and we need to change that. These centuries later, and nothing has changed. So it's time for a change.
Currently, the Florida process is an individual who would be eligible to vote again has to go through basically like a clemency process, a process through which the governor and several other officials on his cabinet have the ability to hold a hearing, ask questions, and then pass a subjective decision on whether or not somebody should be allowed to vote again.
In 2010, I get a letter from the clemency board saying that they're ready to interview me. I'd done multiple things in the community. I've been involved in 2 separate mentorship programs. I started a transition house for ex-convicts, getting out and putting them back into the community. It wasn't like I hadn't put back into the community and done what I needed to do to show that I was a valuable citizen. After multiple interviews and multiple stuff, we get our date. It was in sometime in 2013. That's when I went up. And he denied me for 3 speeding tickets. So.
I'm in my mid-30s. I done something when I was in my 20s. And instead of me being looked at the man that I am today, I'm being looked at the man that I was when I was in my 20s. I don't think like I was 20. I don't talk like I was 20. In my 20s, I didn't. I only had an 8th grade education. Now I have a master's degree. I'm tired of being looked at who I used to be, and not the steps and the strides that I made to what I am today.
It's really about second chances. It's about allowing somebody like myself, who is a good person who made some bad choices and have paid our debt to society because whatever the judge has ruled, we've done, and yet we can't vote. Amendment 4 is something that this is the first time it's been brought to the ballot. Individual people spent years acquiring over 1 million signatures to even get it on the ballot. Imagine the volunteer hours that have gone into this to help people they don't know, because it's such a strong and important issue.
It makes Florida have to nail down to something where these people can get their rights. Disenfranchised people as myself can get their rights back after they've completed their time and they've done what they're supposed to. I just want them to have an easier route than I did.
Just put yourself in their shoes. How would I feel if I was in this position and I didn't have a voice and I just got to accept whatever comes my way? And there's something wrong with that. So it would mean everything, not just for me, but for every other convicted felon.
I think about myself as a mother and what I try to instill in my children. And I want my children to learn and to know that voting is an incredible gift that we all have, to be able to go and vote in a democracy and choose our representatives and to choose on how issues should be represented. So what I would implore voters to know is to really think about what we're allowing in our state. How are we allowing decisions to be made if we're not allowing 1.4 million people to voice their opinion? Are we really allowing representatives to be reflective of our communities and reflective of the real wants of our communities? I would think not.